Good evening, everybody. If I could have your attention, I'd like to get started. And first of all, thank you very much for coming tonight for this exciting announcement of our dear friend, former coach. You're going to learn a lot about Lonnie tonight. I know a lot of you know him, as an adult. We're going to talk about his childhood and his path to SCC and working with student athletes, which was his greatest passion. It's so good to see everybody from the baseball community, former co-workers at SCC, current workers at SCC, friends from Atumwa. Hans Wilkes is here as well. And again, we just really cherish all of you and thank you for coming. The first thing I'd like to do is introduce our president, Dr. Michael Ash, to give a welcome. Dr. Ash has been instrumental in SCC growing with enrollment in athletics. He's a supporter of athletics. Obviously, baseball is part of that, as well as our other sports. And he's done great things here at the college. So Dr. Ash, welcome you to the podium.
Thank you, Jack, and I would extend my welcome to you as well. This is an exciting time, and I'm going to say to you up front, I didn't know Lonnie, so I'm looking forward to the stories and the information. I was getting a little bit back there at that table, but I'm looking forward to hearing about this incredible person, and wished that I had an opportunity to meet him and to work with him. And so I'm excited about you being here. I'm excited for what we're going to be sharing tonight and what we're all going to hear and the opportunities that are going to be before us as it relates to honoring this incredible man. So with that, I will turn it back to Chuck and he will take it down that road. So thank you very much for being here and enjoy your time.
Again, I'm Chuck Chrisman. I'm the Vice President of Technology Services at the college, and I'm also the treasurer of the Lonnie Winston Memorial Scholarship. On behalf of the family, we are honored to introduce this scholarship tonight. There's been a lot of hard work that's went into creating the organization and trying to communicate all the initiatives that will be coming up. Larnett and Lance Winston are actually participating via Zoom, one from Hawaii and one from Hawaii. That is Lonnie's sister and brother, and his mother lives in the Quad Cities. So again, thank you, everybody. I failed to mention that we also have 4 of Lonnie's former players here, which we all know he was passionate about student athletes. So thank all of you for attending as well. I have some notes here. For those of you that know me, that's probably surprising because I usually just start talking and just keep going. I'm not good with following PowerPoints and so forth. But some of the things I want to cover tonight is statistics and Lonnie's path here. And it's so impressive. I'm going to have to look down once in a while and, to make sure I'm quoting the stats correctly. Okay. I do want to do just a little housekeeping. Please pull out your program. This is very important. Obviously, it's the agenda for tonight. We want you to get used to the Lonnie Winston Memorial Scholarship logo. That's already went out all over Facebook and social media. And we're working on, like I said, other initiatives. If you go down to the bottom, there is a QR code, and that is for people to donate to the Lonnie Winston Scholarship. If you look on the back, you'll see Lonnie's story, and that's obviously summarized because it could be a book. And all of you will notice that smile. And I was talking to somebody today, and I said, as Kirk Lom, a former co-worker, a good friend of Lonnie's, I said, when I mention the name Lonnie Winston, can you not smile? And he just had a big smile. I mean, you mentioned Lonnie Winston, he's a character. He made us all laugh, but a true heart. Okay. And at the bottom is another QR code, which is the merchandise store. So that's LW logo, and it helps with the scholarship. There's hats, there's caps, there's shirts, there's hoodies. And that deadline for that for the first time is coming up with November 22nd. Okay. So please help us get the word out as much as you can. And that's really the goal tonight. The goal tonight is to introduce the scholarship. The family has worked so hard on this. And the family, along with Brent, who will speak in a little bit, we're over in Hawaii. Lonnie passed away November 4th last year, a little over a year. A celebration of life was in Hawaii. And the family, again, has worked very hard to create the organization. We've been on Zoom calls weekly. And they sent this basket from Hawaii, which every member of the family donated something to this basket that we're going to give away tonight. And I've met, obviously, I know the family. I met the extended family this year, and they're just very special people. And I know on behalf of them, they want to thank all of you. So thank you very much. I know they're very touched by tonight's events. I mentioned all the different type of friends we have in here, and co-workers, former players. Justin Schulte played for Lonnie, was his assistant coach. Not a lot of you know Lonnie from his childhood, and I just wanted to go over Lonnie a little bit from his childhood. I grew up with Lonnie, and if you can picture Lonnie as an adult, the only thing different from Lonnie as a child was he had more hair. And you can say the same thing about me, right? I had more hair. But Lonnie was always that person. He was always so very, very talented in all sports, and I'll go over some of those things. But you would never learn that from Lonnie. How many of you ever heard that Lonnie was all-state, or was the MVP of an 8-state regional, or was a great running back? And I'll go over some of those things. Lonnie never told you. He had great humility, and he was always that way growing up. I grew up with him in Ottumwa, Iowa, and back then you said Ottumwa was small like Burlington, and it is. But back then Ottumwa had 12 elementary schools, and there wasn't social media. So you heard about people, right? Today you hear about people in other states. Back then it was like, well, you heard about a kid from the other side of town, the East End, okay? So I grew up in the West End. Lonnie grew up in the East End. Hans was a North Sider. But anyway, the first thing I heard about Lonnie was as a 10-year-old, he was hitting 250-foot home runs at the Little League field as a 10-year-old. Now, for those of you that don't know a lot about baseball, and I played baseball all the way up through 9th grade, that was very unusual. Usually 12-year-olds did hit home runs, okay? And he was 10 years old, and he was just an incredible athlete. So that same year, I had heard about him, and then we had what's called the city wrestling tournament. So all 12 elementary schools had a city wrestling tournament. He won every match and pinned everybody. It wasn't even fair, and he didn't even like wrestling. Okay, he was low to the ground. He was quick and strong. He just went after him, took him down. Okay. Well, then I knew who he was because I saw him, and then we played against him in the city basketball tournament. And basketball is my sport, and he's pressing me all over the floor. And I'm like, what sport does this guy not play? You know, you're a kid and you're just in awe. So the final one was the city track meet, and we're in the 4x100, relay race. Everybody's heard of that, right? And I led off for my school, and I thought I did okay. And we got around. I go, we got a chance of winning this. We got a chance of winning this. And Lonnie wasn't even close to the person that was in second. And he passed everybody and won it. And I give up. This unbelievable. So Lonnie and I and Hans were on the same Babe Ruth team. And that's when I really became good friends with Lonnie. And I realized the humility that he has. Everybody engaged with Lonnie. Everybody hung out with Lonnie. He just had a big heart. And like I say, he was very, very humble. You would never know how good he was. He's not going to tell you. And I can give you a story from when we were in Babe Ruth. He was 14 and I was on the 15-year-old all-star team. He led off and played shortstop. That tells you he was a pretty good player, right? I thought I was going to start in center field, okay, and be part of that team. And they didn't start me, and I was crushed. So here's Lonnie, one of the few 14-year-olds, if not the only 14-year-old on the team. And he comes up to the bench because he can see us down, and he goes, "Are you okay?" Most people would have been saying, "Let's get this game started. I'm batting first." And he realized I was hurt. And that's just the type of person that Lonnie was. And that next year in 15-year-old All-Stars, that I was gone by that time, but they won the state tournament. They went and won an 8-state regional, and Lonnie was MVP of the 8-state regional. So that gives you an idea. So moving on to high school, Lonnie played all the sports in high school. He was first team All-State baseball as a senior, second team All-State baseball as a junior. He led his team to the semifinals of the state tournament, and he was the Ottumwa Male Athlete of the Year. Okay. He also was a running back that in his last high school game rushed for 266 yards and 2 touchdowns against Keokuk. He could have played college sports in about any sport that he wished to, but his passion was baseball. Okay. So he got a scholarship to Indian Hills Community College. How many of you are familiar? You guys familiar with Indian Hills Community College? Okay. So you guys have a program that can compete against Indian Hills at any time right now. Back then, that wasn't the case, was it, Justin? Okay, so back then, Indian House was the perennial powerhouse, nationally ranked, going to the national tournament. Justin's brother played with Lonnie at Indian Hills, and Justin watched Lonnie play. I looked up Lonnie's stats last night online. This is 40 years ago. He's still in the top 5 in 4 categories at Indian Hills Community College. Okay, number 1, games played. Okay, you don't get a, if you're not good, you're not gonna get a lot of games played. At bats, he still is the record holder in triples and total runs. Okay, that's 40 years ago. And Justin mentioned, I know he hit 20 home runs as a freshman, and that wasn't on there, so it's probably 5. Okay, so that's a 40-year record. And Indian Hills has had a lot of people go on to the pros. And that just tells you how good Lonnie was. He then went on to Southern Louisiana University, which is Division I. He finished his career at Tarkio in Missouri and was all district. And then he came to SCC in Burlington, Iowa. And how blessed we are that he did. There's a lot of coworkers here, along with the baseball community, that can tell you how Lonnie lit up a room, okay, and just made everybody feel special. And I know by living with him in the dorms, how well respected he was by the players. It was a revolving door of players coming there and talking with Lonnie about baseball and life, and that's what he was truly his happiness and his passion. But I do want to read off the positions he held at SCC. That's why I got my notes, because I could never remember all these positions, okay? He was hired by Dr. Gardner, okay, which was our second president at SCC. Some of you former players might remember Dr. Gardner. And Dr. Gardner had been in Ottumwa as a chief academic officer and hired Lonnie for these positions: minority student affairs, admissions, dorm supervisor, intramural director, assistant baseball coach, okay? Most of those were at the same time. Those weren't extended. Most are at the same time. And then also fundraising, field management, bus driver, and so forth. Okay. He became head coach. He was assistant coach for 3 years. He became head coach. He coached over 250 players and had 299 victories. Okay, before he retired from coaching. His 1994 SCC team won the state tournament, the regional tournament among multiple states, and then made it to the Elite 8 of the national tournament in 1994. And again, I just want to mention that although he had all those sports accomplishments, he was at home with student athletes. I do want to talk a little bit about his family that I know that are on Zoom, and they don't want me to, but I want to, because they're very special people. And I know Lonnie's mom, and I knew his dad before he passed away, as well as his sister and his brother. I met his cousins recently. Again, very special. But if you look at Lonnie's Facebook, how many are friends with Lonnie on Facebook? There's a number. What was all over his Facebook? Family, right? The trips to Vegas, Hawaii, when they came here, talking about his siblings, talking about his mom and so forth. And then if you ever met up with Lonnie, he was, he's always so happy to see you. All of you are part of his family. And I know he loves the baseball community. The last thing that I'll go before I turn it over to Brent, and this will be real hard not to be emotional, but my grandparents raised me, and they're very special people. And I was in Kansas City after college, and they were getting older, and I wanted to get back home. And at the same time, my sister was going through a divorce with 3 kids in Burlington. And I'm a faith-based person, as God would have it. Lonnie reached out to me and told me about the assistant basketball job at Southeastern Community College and brought me to Burlington. And I believe in faith, but I also believe in friendship. And Lonnie made me feel at home when he came. I've met so many good friends. A lot of you are here tonight. I met my wife, Dana, who we've been married for 26 years, right? Going on 27. That's the stat you got to get. And our son, who's dear to us too, those things would have never happened without Lonnie Winston. But he also made me feel at home. He was very good to my sister, who was going through rough times. Anything bad happened within my family, a loss of somebody, Lonnie was there. And I remember the last time that I saw Lonnie before he passed, and this is just typical Lonnie. is I was at a stop sign over by Hy-Vee and Roosevelt. And I pull up the stop sign, I was the first one there, and I hear this loud car coming, the music blasting, okay? And I look out the corner of my eye, it's Lonnie, and he's just smiling at me, just like the back of that picture. And I hadn't seen him in a while, and he rolls it down, and he starts singing a song, and where the word "you" is in the song, he substituted with "shoes," which is my nickname. And he did that all the time, but that's just the special things he did with everybody that made you feel special. In closing, I do want to reiterate the focus and the passion he had for student athletes. And you can see by some of the pictures that we'll have up here tonight, how much pride he took in what he was doing. I can tell you he had a lot of talks with a lot of student athletes, and it was not about athletics. And you know, that was just so important to him. So anyway, we got the rest of the program coming up. We're just going to share some information. Again, please know how treasured we are that all of you are here. And Lonnie loved all of you. And I know he's smiling down on us. So thank you very much. Thank you.
All right. Well, my good line here. Hey, everybody, I'm Brent Bolsang. I am Lonnie and I have been friends for that person. Hopefully I make this okay. I just got back from Hawaii with his family, and I kind of want to go over some things what home means to Lonnie's family. It's do the right thing. Lonnie was known for, I mean, I knew him really well. He lived with me forever. And then off and on he'd come back, and Lonnie was always the kind of person that if you need somebody to bounce something off with, are you the person, you know, what should I do there, Lonnie? Lonnie always had the right answer. Lonnie always had the here's what you should do, here's the right way to do things. He took care of his students when he was here. He took care of his employee, all the other staff and everybody. I'm sorry, I'm talking really fast, and this got to me quicker than I thought it would. But when I was in Hawaii, the main thing I want to stress is do what is right. When he was in Hawaii with his family, Lonnie was such a family guy. I was honored to help. He did a memorial for the year anniversary in Maui, where we laid him to rest. And his family it's just not even just blood. It's what he is. It's in his nature. It's who he is. Lance on that, his mom Tracy, they showed me. I have a strong family myself, but they showed me what it's like to be just amazing family ties. And I'm sure the guys that grew up with him can say the same thing. You know, from the day you knew Lonnie, he always had a special thing. He's singing. He's got to have shoes in somewhere. And he's, you know, so I'm sure everybody has their own little thing about Lonnie. So the family joined Pono, and they wanted to do this together so that Lonnie's character, I'm sorry, I'm jumping around. What this means to Lonnie and Lonnie's family is they want the person or persons who are going to benefit from this program to be of Lonnie's character. And that's real simple. Lonnie would do anything for you. Even if he knew you, didn't know you. Even if it was the last $5 he had in the earth, he would give it to you. Last shirt on his back, he would give it to you. And that's what they want, the character of people like a gentleman like yourself who are in the program. They want them to carry that out throughout the remainder of their life. The community leaders, be amazing people. And Lonnie was that guy. You'll hear sometimes of, oh, that guy, you know, he'd do anything for you. He'd do anything. Lonnie was that guy. I talked to Coach a second ago. I asked him because I wanted to see. I know Lonnie had talked. He checks in on people. He just randomly called. People would tell me all the time. Randomly phone rang. There's Lonnie. What are you doing? What's going on? I know he'd call Coach every once in a while. He said about once a month he'd check in during the season, and and he would always give me the debrief. Like, oh, here's what's going on. Here's the record. Here's how things are going. And the thing that struck me the most was that Justin said that he more asked about his fame. I was kidding. That's Lonnie. I mean, he loves sports, but how are you?
Right, you good? What?
So I know I kind of jumbled around and I kind of got a little emotional there, but this is Lonnie. A year later, still, you know, being in Maui with his family. I mean, I should see, and this is even the big picture, you'll see a big picture later of the entire family. I mean, when they have an event, they have an event. 50, 60 people get together, just randomly on a Thursday, and they hang out and they eat food and they love each other. We could use more of that here. And I think that's what this program will kind of do. Maybe it gets to that point where people realize that baseball together, you guys are paying. You'll have each other's back. I have relationships with people I went to college, and you will the rest of your life. You guys will know each other the rest of your life. And that's what Lonnie brings to this. And I was gonna try and tell a couple light stories, but Lonnie always the smile. He always smiled. He always came around. He always had a smile on his face. He always had something quick and silly to say. If you're in a bad mood, Lonnie would get you out of a bad mood. If you did something silly, oh man, it's all right. Let's go. Let's get it going. He was always a baseball coach. He was always a human coach, person coach. Whether he was on the field, whether he was doing whatever, he just was always there. So I can't say enough about the man. And is it yearly? This is to carry his legacy for many years. And we're all grateful to him.
We want to introduce the mission statement for you tonight. And so in partnership with All Pono Sports, which Brett covered greatly, it's our mission to honor this legacy by providing academic and athletic opportunities to Southeastern Community College baseball players through this Memorial Scholarship Fund. Next, we'd like to play you a short video from the family that we've been talking so highly of. And so Carrie's going to pull this up, and this is from Hawaii. And there you go. Yep.
Hello and welcome to the introduction of the Lonnie Winston Memorial Scholarship. My name is Lonnie Winston. I'm Lonnie's sister, and I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada.
I'm Lance Winston, brother of Lonnie Winston from Maui.
And I'm Presty Beckett, the mother of Lonnie Ray Winston, and I'm from Moline, Illinois.
I'm Miley Viela, cousin of Lonnie from Maui and founder of All Pono.
We truly wish that we could be there with you today. We are all here in Maui with our entire ohana, celebrating and the tribute of Lonnie's 1-year anniversary passing. We are beyond grateful that you are here today to learn more about Lonnie and the scholarship details. But I will say this. Lonnie had a love and passion for baseball and mentoring his players. And while coaching and mentoring the game is important, Lonnie's passion and drive for the game is what made him an exceptional leader of the game. In partnership with All Pono Sports, it is our mission to provide athletic and academic opportunities to Southeastern Community College baseball players. We thank you for your support. Mahalo.
Thank you. By the way, they made these for us, the baseball coaches, we went by 8%, and then we promised not to open them until today. We did not know they were coming, but they were made there, so these are very special to us. And Lynette and Lance and Pressy, thank you for that message in my way. So, yeah, thank you. Okay, next I'm going to introduce Justin Schulte. And Justin's got a background with Lonnie. Like I mentioned, Indian Hills. Justin's brother was a great player at Indian Hills, the same time frame that Lonnie was. They had an incredible team. And then Justin was also an assistant coach for Lonnie and played for Lonnie. So I'd like to introduce Justin to say a few words about Lonnie.
I can get through this myself. First off, I'd like to thank Lonnie's family. Means a lot to represent him and our guy. And what they want to do for student athletes. My background with Lonnie started with
my brother. So those two were teammates in Indian Hills, 1985. Went to a World Series. And our guys know that bond formed doing that. So they're pretty tight. And then my career path, which is a pretty one. I started at a Division III school here in Iowa. And I did a mistake a lot of kids make. I took the best scout. I decided I wanted to leave that level and go to junior college. And so I took the best offer I got, and it was at a bad junior college, Marshalltown Community College at the time. Like, guys probably don't even know this story. We were really bad, really bad. So we came down here to Southeastern and playing Southeastern, and I get beat by Southeastern Scouts playing that day, I'm sure. And my brother was happened to be at the game. It's like, holy crap, that's Lonnie. So they started talking, and I get the story later that Lonnie's like, what the heck's he doing playing here? Why is he playing here? And so let's just say the season was awful. So we get done playing, season's over, and I'm done. Like, I don't want to tell my guys this, but I was out of baseball. I decided 2 years, and this is the result I got. I was done with baseball. I had told my dad. I mean, we just blew a 12-point lead in a regional game, and that was the end of our season. And I walked into the car with my dad and said, I'm done. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. And so I'm home for the summer, planning on going to, I think, probably Kirkwood to graduate and then go to Iowa in January. And Lonnie keeps calling the house. Calls my dad or my mom. I said, I don't want to talk to him. I don't want to play anymore. And so he gets hold of my brother. And this is illegal, by the way. I didn't know that. But he's calling, trying to get me to come down and visit. And my brother's like, just go down and visit. If you go down and you don't like it, you can always say you didn't like it. You know, if you like it, you can go there and you won't have any regrets either way. So I go down, and of course, you know, I kind of fell in love with old Lonnie at the time. And he talked me into coming here and playing for him. And lo and behold, I ended up at the University of Iowa playing baseball because I decided to play for Lonnie. And I had, on top of that, he had some other opportunities for me in the South to play Division I baseball. So, so back to graduate from Iowa in '95, absolutely zero aspirations to coach college baseball. And I'm just bought a wedding ring, believe it or not. I'm thinking I'm going to propose here in about a month, and I get a call in late June from Lonnie. Hey, you want to coach? I got a coaching job for you. You can live in the dorm. I did it, you know. You live in the dorm and do intramurals and do this. I had some other job in the admissions office at the time, and I thought, oh, I'll try it for a year. That was my thing. I'll try it for a year. I got to get married and see how this works out. And so I stuck around for 3 years. I got married while I was here. Had my first child was here, and Lonnie was Uncle Lonnie to my kids. Tell him Uncle Lonnie said hi. And but just to think about, you know, he coached 250 kids. Hell, I've been doing this for 29 years. Think about the kids I've coached and that wouldn't have had that opportunity if it wasn't for Lonnie. And, you know, Lonnie won 299 games, and he's won another bunch of games because he talked me into doing this. And it's special. That's my story.
Okay. All right, get your cards out. Really some, get some stuff away, pizza ranch. Chuck and I, before the event, got together and did a computer generation of some numbers. So the business cards you have a number on it. So the first card is the pizza ranch. It's a free chicken pack. It's number 16. Oh, there's the one. The reason I did Pizza Ranch was it was Lonnie's favorite. He loved going Pizza Ranch. So if you take these,
You're welcome to them, however, you have to eat the corn. Talk about that all the time, it's ridiculous. The second one is a free combo pack, and the number is 13. There we go.
It's all pictures, Kurt. Best data.
All right, and the final is 4 free buffets, so and it's like number 22.
No, that's you, it's not me.
Again, it's kind of reiterate how grateful the families that everybody's here. Barnett, Lance, Cressy, the family over in Maui, great group of folks. They're so happy you guys are here. So we just want to reiterate that again. They're very happy here.
All right, take a few minutes to go over some of the scholarship details. And as I mentioned earlier, the goal is to ask you to help all of us to spread the word about the scholarship. It is for SCC baseball players, but there are some rubrics, some criteria. As I mentioned, Lonnie's sisters worked really hard on a 501c, so it's a charitable organization. Any money raised, it's tax deductible. Funds go directly to SCC players. Okay. 3 student athletes each year is the goal. 2 sophomores, okay, and then 1 freshman. Academic excellence. What was the grade point average last year, Justin? 3.3. I mean, that's incredible, right? For a sports team. A group of athletes, and I know that the criteria for this is a minimum of a 3.2. So it's about everything that Lonnie stood for: academics, athletic excellence, and also character. So you'll also see the community and the team manner and the character there. There is a board, a 501c board, that will be part of the decision, will be the decision making for against the scholarships. Okay, this is the board, and we mentioned Larnett, who's on, and then Miley, who's Lonnie's cousin, that's also the lead for all Pono that you're going to learn more about tonight. I'm the treasurer, Brent is the director, and then Lance, Lonnie's brother, is the director as well. Sorry, secretary, right? I can't see, and then I'm going to cite it. Okay, and I haven't heard Lonnie sing before. Okay, everybody's raising their hand. If you wanted to hear, and he was good, 2 incredible singers, Larnett and Lance. They're professional singers. I mean, they are unbelievable. So at a future fundraising, we'll get them to sing. I haven't even asked them, but that'll be fun to entertain them. Okay, some initiatives coming up, and again, we need your help. Justin and John, along with the Burlington Bees, are putting together a golf outing for the SEC baseball team and for the Burlington Bees. They've agreed to have a dinner where the funding of that this spring will go to the Lonnie Winston Memorial Scholarship. So all of you will be invited to that, along with everybody that's involved in that golf tournament. We're also, these are some tentative items at SCC baseball benefit game. We do have free will donations tonight, and a reminder of your QR codes on the front and back. Anything that can be donated is appreciated, but again, help us communicate it. And then annual sponsorships and donors as well. We've already got a few of those as well. So next slide, please. This is the merchandise store. There's some pretty cool stuff. I love that the Lonnie Winston, I call it L Dub, everybody calls it L Dub, all right? So L Dub and the SCC logos are black and red. I think that's really cool. He loved SCC. We love Lonnie. This is the merchandise store. Again, QR code. This is only open till November 22nd, so we'll be promoting it heavily on social media as soon as this event's over. There's some really cool things on there. You see some of them there, but there's other items as well. And then we'll do this again in the spring, certainly next fall as well. Okay. The application process. The application will be open from January 15th to March 31st every year, but obviously that's this coming year. Application form, a short essay, and 2 letters of recommendation along with the other criteria that I communicated from the baseball coach and from an academic counselor. Okay, because that's obviously important criteria. The scholarship board will review. Our goal is $5,000 a year. There'll be a 2,500, a 1,500, and a 1,000, and again, 2 sophomores and a freshman. Okay, the award, and we please put this on your calendar. Is it April 28th? Do you remember that baseball game?
I think it is.
Okay, so we'll get that word out, but the scholarships will be announced. It'll be part of an opening pitch ceremony. We're thinking April 28th. It's a home baseball game. We'll get that out to you. A ceremonial first pitch. Lonnie's sister and mom, Pressy, from the Quad Cities, will be there for that pitch. Obviously, the sophomore players would be there. We're hoping that the incoming freshmen would be able to make it as well to that. And so we think that's going to be a really cool atmosphere over at the Bees. We're inviting former co-workers, people who work at SCC now, coaches, coaching community, former players, SCC baseball players will obviously be there if you're playing a game, right? So you guys are going to be there. Justin and John in the baseball program have named their team room. If you haven't got a chance to see it, it's over in the 500 building, the Lonnie Winston team room. There's a big poster of him on there. And then what we will be purchasing will be the Lonnie Winston Scholarship plaque. That will have a picture of Lonnie. It will have the mission statement of what Lonnie stood for, and then every year we will add to who got those scholarships. Okay, and we're hoping that it'll be around the team room or in the team room. We'll have to figure that out where to best put it. And then the baseball coaches are also thinking about an annual LW award for that player that demonstrated Lonnie's character, athleticism, and special person that he is. Here's the team room. This is the poster that's outside the team room. That's a great picture right there. Lonnie's not smiling, which probably means he's mad at the ump. Everybody else, so. Yeah.
Lauren text me and said it's 4/27.
April 27th is the date, so if you got your phones, and I know you all got phones, so you got your phones, put the date on that. Also Lonnie's dad's birthday. Before I get to question and answers, we got a little time. So anybody wants to share a story about Lonnie?
You don't have to come up, you can.
Yeah, you can sit down and say it. Is there anybody who wants to share a story? Hans Wilt from Atumwa, childhood friend.
Thanks for having us down. A lot more of us want to be here, but I guarantee you, the love that you guys are showing tonight will happen in Atumwa as well. Baseball friends, friends from high school, junior high, his bandmates in Seizure. If you don't remember that, they never played much outside of a warehouse. I can tell you this, in growing up with Lonnie, and just admiring how he led. He was a leader, not only as a friend and on the baseball field, but he made you want to be better. He brought you along with him, and through his life, through his athletic endeavors, and then even after you lost connection, you would see Lonnie again and you would connect right back again. Probably one of the only people in my life that I can say that I've never heard a poor word spoken about Lonnie Winston. And there's a lot of reasons for that, but that's something you don't hear very often. People always try to go to the negative. That's just the way human nature is, but you couldn't find anything negative about Lonnie Winston. There were a few sports he was not good at, but he tried. Golf was one of those. But there was golf carts, so it was cool. But I can only tell you that this happening here tonight helps me and helps others, obviously, keep this memory alive. And I think that's one of the most important things. We want to make sure that this memory stays alive because the kind of person he was, we would hope that others will be. And baseball teams should benefit from that. Seeing that picture every day should drive you guys to be better players and better people. So Lonnie Winston, the guy that no one said anything bad about.
Anybody else? Story? Hey.
Yeah, I met Lonnie out here at SEC. He was my counselor, a guidance counselor. Then we became real good friends. And then when he started his own club, he hired me as one of the bouncers and slash DJ and slash working in the kitchen, janitorial. But hanging with Lonnie was, you never knew what you were going to get when you walked in that door. But he always had a smile. He was always joking about something, had nicknames for everybody. I mean, and then one time it was Halloween. He got us these shirts at his bar, and these black shirts, mine said boo, and his says boo. And we had these black wigs that we wore out, and it was good. And he always had a smile. He never had nothing bad to say about anybody. Anytime that he went to the pizza ranch, if they didn't have his corn, he was upset. But he would take pictures when he was at the restaurant. He was like, "See, they got my corn today." And I had the honor and the privilege to do Lonnie's service, his funeral service. Well, I don't call them funerals, I call them homegoing services. And it was pretty good turnout and pretty good fellowship. So if you didn't get a chance to get to know Lonnie, I guarantee you talk to one of us, you'll get to know him a lot better.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah, right, thank you.
Was I the only one, Justin was giving a speech at Cotton, you know? You guys know Lonnie, that was Lonnie's saying.
Oh, he had some quips, right? And then I will say this, you guys have all brought it, but Lonnie was everybody's friend. There was no cliques with Lonnie. I mean, Hans can attest to this, even in high school, Lonnie was good to everybody. Lonnie was set with everybody. And that's unique when there's pressure with young people. So, anybody else? Okay, any questions about the scholarship? Anything that's coming up? Okay, we go to the next slide, because I think we got some Facebook type stuff on there. Oh, we got that first.
So this is the Macan, it's basically a gift from Lonnie's family. It's this gift basket right here. So a quick backstory, I'm not gonna be able to do it a whole bunch, but this is from Lonnie's family. So whoever wins this, it hand chosen, every person, not everyone, but from certain families within the entire family structure have put something in this basket to say thank you for those of you coming tonight. So get your cards.
Just say something about that, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there is a bag here. And it does say it was special made. It's got his number 40 and it says Coach Lonnie Winston, Southeastern Community College, and it's got his sunrise date and his sunset date. So that's very, very, very cool. And that was someone in the family had that made. So that's awesome. So this is the family saying thank you for being here and all the future donation and help and everything towards this scholarship. So get your cards out. And the winner is, of course, Lonnie's jersey number 40.
Yeah.
Come on, Carrie.
That's there's all kinds of cookies and chips and all kinds of stuff from Maui. It's all good stuff.
The winner is Doug Williams. Okay, and he is the husband of Joan Williams, who would have worked with Lonnie and been Lonnie's supervisor. I know that Lonnie's very dear to Joan Williams, so. Good. Okay, just a reminder, here's the links. They're on the QR codes. We did put the Facebook logo up here, so be looking for, that's the Facebook, I mean, the Lonnie Winston. What's that? The L-Dub, sorry. Yeah, the L-Dub. Please look for that on Facebook, share it with all your friends. And then a reminder on the merchandise store, which ends on the 22nd. Okay, if you want to, and some people have already done this, and please get this out too. As I'm the treasurer, send your check, money order payable to Lonnie Winston Memorial Scholarship to Chuck Christman. If you put SCC and Chuck Christman, it's going to get to me. But we'd obviously prefer the Lonnie Winston Memorial Scholarship on there. And again, once that's done, you can tell other people, Barnett will send out information, obviously a thank you from our organization, and also allow you, to present that as tax deductible. So, and finally, thank you. I want to recognize these people down below here, okay? Obviously, Ed the Forest, thank you, Hans, for the beautiful flowers. Hans owns Ed the Forest in Atumwa. really good friends with Lonnie. Thank you to Pizza Ranch. If you're wondering why we got Pizza Ranch, because Lonnie loved Pizza Ranch. Okay, and you know by now you need to eat the mashed potatoes and the corn. Okay, thanks to Kim Tracy and our print shop. Tammy Hobbs and Carrie Mercer, please stand up. Please stand up because I'm going to wait till you. Okay. Not only did their full-time job, they helped with all the prep, they did all the prep for this room, including steaming the tablecloths, okay? And just make sure everything, my I's were dotted and T's crossed and all those things, so thank you very much. Thanks to John and Justin, the baseball coach. John Gaines, all of you probably know John Gaines, the Hawkeye photographer. He took time and dug deep and found digital photos of Lonnie, which we will email to you because there's some really cool photos that were in this that we didn't think we had. So I really want to appreciate John for that, and Jeff for his help from our marketing department. So a special thank you to all of you. And do I have another slide? I can't remember. Hey, I don't have another slide. So in closing, feel free, I know it's warm in here, please feel free to mingle, to talk among yourselves.
There's more water back there.
But there's more water back there, Carrie says, and please know how much we appreciate you attending tonight's event and helping us spread the word. As Hans said, there's going to be events in the future, and the one Hans is talking about is Lonnie's Babe Ruth teammate, another teammate of ours, owns an establishment, and he's offered to do a fundraiser and a tumbler. So we get those things going. We get the things obviously, you know, in Burlington and online, and we keep Lonnie's memory alive. But also we keep the impact of helping student athletes alive, and that's what Lonnie's mission was. So anyway, thank you very much. Safe travels home. Any questions? I'll be around for a while. Thank you very much.
1992. He was. Face when I was